introduce. I'm a medical doctor. I graduated from med school in 1988. 1992, I started shifting from family med for 2 years to alternative medicine. And I studied acupuncture, Chinese herbal therapy, nutritional counseling. And in 1995, I was City Chief Coordinator for Alternative Medicine in Caloocan City Health Department. Every government body, mga city, they have a TradMed City Chief Coordinator. I was Caloocan City's TradMed or Alternative Medicine Division Coordinator. Kasi the Department of Health has a program on alternative medicine. They call it TradMed. It's called PTAC, Philippine Institute for Traditional and Alternative Healthcare. Actually, meron yatang convention ngayon ng PTAC, no? Kahapon tsaka ngayon. And the PTAC mandate was set up by the Department of Health, Clavier, when he was the senator, and it was signed into law by by President Fidel Ramos. So there is a law, Republic Act 8423 or 824, that says every Filipino has the right to use and promote natural and traditional modalities. So may batas po. We're the only country with that law. And unfortunately, it's not being used. It's not being utilized. But the Department of Health has that department or a branch, and the DOH, different cities should have such. Kaya may 10 halamang gamot, no? And other things. They used to teach midwives acupressure. It was a mandate that was shared. In 1992, I started practicing alternative medicine after I got tired of taking medication for my asthma. So I used Chinese herbal medicine na wala. So sabi ko, I had to learn this. And then I started going to it. I was into martial arts in my younger days. And part of my training in the martial art is acupuncture. The same point you hit to defend is also the same point you stimulate to heal. And also herbal medicine. And then in 1996, I was blessed to have a 1-year training in Colorado, USA on alternative treatments for lifestyle disease, yung cancer, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis. So in those wellness center in Colorado, patients on insulin will go in. After a week, they come out without insulin. The process is you stimulate the pancreas to produce its own insulin. So they come in on insulin, they go out without insulin. Or patients have to undergo chemotherapy, they come, they do cleansing, they go home, and there's improvement in their cancer markers. And then half a year later, after 1 year of training there, I had a half a year training in California, the Health Education and Lifestyle Center in Moreno Valley, California, where the doctor was trained in Tijuana. In Tijuana, Mexico, nandun yung alternative centers like the Gerson Center, the Dr. Contreras Clinic, I think it's the Oasis of Hope or City of Hope, is that Oasis of Hope or City of Hope, and the CHIPSA, where their success rate for cancer is 80%. Yung melanoma, yung tawag. Now that is striking because if you go to the United States, the success rate for cancer is only 15%. And that's not a success rate, that's a failure rate of 80+%. And after my training in half a year, I came back to the Philippines and I was asked by the Singaporean Malaysian group in SBMA to help launch a department alternative sa isang hospital there, the former US Naval Hospital. That was 1998. And from 1998 until present, we have that department. Although we were more aggressive during those years, because then the doctors were required by the Malaysian and Singaporean group to work with us. So the Legenda Hotel Resort Casino Group had a hospital there, a 200-bed capacity hospital. And for 5 years, we were handling patients that people in Manila and the big hospitals have already given up on. So we went by faith kasi the Lord placed the patient under our care. There must be something we could do at least. So patient will come comatose, they'll go out walking. Why? Because the things we're putting in are things that will not harm them. No? Nutrition is the key for healing. So, bubombahin namin yan. Then we clean up, build up the immune system, detoxify, and you'd be surprised what the body can do. Even if medicine has said they're already on their last leg. So patients will come, they've been told to only have 3 days, 2 days, 1 day to live, and you know how slow natural healing is, no? So we have to create programs that will get result in 24 to 48 hours. And all the doctors hated us when we started in that place. So can you imagine the pressure? That was from 1998. And until now we're there. So we must be doing something, right? Okay. Now, I was tasked to share with you 2 diseases. One is lupus, which we know according to medicine is incurable, and the other one is allergic rhinitis. Both of them are what we call autoimmune disease. Yung immune system mo umaatake sa sarili niya. One is simple, hatching-hatching lang naman as allergic rhinitis. The other one can be deadly. No? President Marcos had his kidneys destroyed by lupus, and look what happened. No? Yung iba naman sa eyes, yung iba sa different organs that the lupus would attack. Now, before, I think we did a lecture on immune system. Now we dwell a little bit deeper on these 2 illnesses. So, okay, I will share with you one patient that we have from Olongapo. Her name is TB. Tess, her name is Teresita, but I forgot the last name. And she was examined for the first time June 2003 at the Subic Bay Medical Center Institute of Natural Healing. She had a butterfly-like rash on her face, and her blood test and all the tests had shown that she had lupus, but it's only on the skin. But she's been taking steroids, and she's applying all sorts of things on her face, and it wasn't working. Or it will subside a little bit, and then it will flare up. So they actually plan from the steroids, they will go to chemotherapy. Can you imagine that? No? Lupus attacks different organs of the body. It so happened it was just her face. So they give steroids. If the steroids doesn't work, then they graduate to chemotherapy. And you know the side effects of chemotherapy. So she began experiencing bone pain. She was taking prednisone, pero ang prednisone po, which is a steroid, ang side effect po niyan is osteoporosis. So her bones started hurting, her face started getting swollen, no? She started getting heavier, and she noted that if she stops it, wala din yung pain, no? So, and her sugar also goes up. So she decided to do alternative medicine when she was told that she's gonna be given chemotherapy. See, when the immune system is going crazy, the answer of medicine is to kill the immune system. Now, when you kill the immune system, of course, you get all sorts of problems, no? But then they have other side effects, and we will study those side effects. What happens when you have lupus, no? You got rashes on the face, you got rashes on the hands, and these are the only external, no? External. When they say systemic, it means the whole body is affected. So it can be just a rash on the face, very reactive sa sunlight, or it can be whole body. When it becomes the whole body, they call it systemic lupus erythematosus, meaning redness. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun, no? You know, medicine is very fond of making very hard to remember words. Lupus erythematosus. Yeah. That means it's red skin. Okay. Okay. The patient was not confined kasi, you know, sometimes we teach you, you do this program, you do it at home, you come here from time to time, and she was given an alternative anti-inflammatory. The reason they give the steroids is it has an anti-inflammatory and immune suppressant effect. It's like, let's say the immune system is like your police. No? The police are supposed to be good people, and they're supposed to take care of safety. But what if the police started doing huli dabs, you know? Hold dabs or huli dabs or kotong, no? Ngotong sila, no? So the answer would be kill the police. That's what steroids does. Now, if you kill the police, wala nang anyone to deter the criminal elements. And what if hindi mo lang you did not just kill the police, you also kill the people around, no? That's what steroid does. Destroys good cells, destroys other things. So hindi maganda, no? So what we did is we started giving her detox technique. We did something called hyperthermia. Hyperthermia is increasing the body's temperature to about 39 to 40 degrees. What happens when you increase the body to that level, you get fever. Huh? So hyperthermia is also called fever therapy. And fever therapy is used in alternative medicine to shock the immune system back to normal. Para bang you're shooting everybody and then wake up. Wake up. So that's how you do it. When your immune system, when your body is in a febrile state or may lagnat, no? Your immune system becomes more active. It helps your body clear out toxins. Enzymes in your body becomes more active at high temperature. Para bang sa kape, you dissolve coffee in cold water, it's not going to dissolve well. But if you do it in hot water, it dissolves better. So the body is able to eliminate more toxins that way. Okay, then we did something called a biozapper. Biozapper is a machine that kills bacteria, virus, and fungus wherever it may be. Kasi she's done already steroids, so she has infections, she has all sorts of fungal infections in her body. Then the acupuncture is to relieve the pain because she's having pains, and also to stimulate the immune system to wake up. So you see, in alternative medicine, instead of destroying the immune system, we rehabilitate the immune system. What made the immune system go crazy? We believe these are toxins. So detoxify and then rehabilitate. Diba? Bakit nangungutong yung police? Kasi maybe they're not earning a good salary. Yeah? Maybe they're drug addicts. Maybe they're has so many wives. You know? So you do something about that. Anyway, so we also did application of charcoal as a detoxifier and coffee enema. And within 2 weeks, she was improved so markedly. But then, something happened. On the second week, rashes formed once more in her face, and she started having scabs and scaling. She became like a zombie. No? Her entire face started peeling off. She couldn't even smile because her lips would bleed. So she would travel from Olongapo to, actually she's from Subic, to up to the place where we're at, inside SBMA, at the top of the mountain. The hospital is on top of the mountain, by motorcycle with her husband, and she would wear a veil because her face looks like a zombie. No? So dry, cracked, bleeding, the scalp flakes falling off, and we were kind of discouraged. We said, oh, what's happening? Why is this slow? But after a week, all the flakes fell off and her skin was so beautiful. Wow. Her husband said, you look 10 years younger.
Wow.
Okay.
It's not a picture.
So, you know, we really did not document. We had to document it in paperwork, but we were not taking pictures then. Okay, anyway, she continued the titer program at home, and then we tested her ANA, which is the blood test we use for that, and it was gone. Everything was normal. So she was working with FedEx, and so she moved to New York, and she lost a job there later, and it cleared up. She told me, Doc, what do I do? I said, you know what to do. She does. She knows the cleansing diet, she knows the herb to take, and she was able to clear it up again. See, the thing is, we don't just treat you, we teach you how to treat yourself. Big difference. That means that woman can now treat another person with lupus. I did not prescribe anything that you cannot get from an herbal store or you need a prescription for it. Okay, so what were the treatments used? We used a ginseng ginkgo extract. This is actually a 44 herbal combination, but ginkgo biloba, not only boosts the immune system but suppresses the histaminic or the allergenic or the inflammatory response. It's very good for any type of allergy. In fact, that's why they use it for asthma. So ginkgo is available at Mercury Drug and other places. No? Now, ginseng is a hormonal balancer, so pinagsama namin yan. It also thins out the blood and fights the way the blood becomes thicker. Vitamin C, we did mega dose, and vitamin E. Notice, no? For the concept of the conventional medicine, they destroy the immune system. Kami pinalalakas pa namin. We make them stronger. A strong and healthy immune system is not gonna attack its own, the own body, its own body. Okay, vitamin E, blood purifier. So we give some herbs that are cleansers, blood cleansers, because if your blood is clean, then there's no reason why your system is going to attack different organs. Now there's an herb, there's an enzyme that we use. We didn't have plant enzyme then, except we used papaya and pineapple. But what we had then were animal enzyme. It has bromelain, it has papain, which we do have, no, in live enzyme. It has pancreatic enzymes and other things. I don't know if it's still available in the market. Then we did colloidal silver that has both antibiotic and immune boosting property. When applied on the skin, it stimulates skin regeneration. And liquid chlorophyll, which is a blood builder purifier, and then charcoal to detoxify. See, very simple program. No? Instead of destroying the immune system, we bring it back online, like a computer that got offline. Then the fever therapy, we did acupuncture just to balance, and then the coffee. Very simple. You know, when patients undergo this procedure, you'll find they look younger and healthier. So some people would come to us because they want to get married. They would do the cleansing, so that when they come out of their wedding gown, they look lovely and beautiful. The skin so clear.
Vibrant.
Vibrant. Okay. You have to have beauty inside out, not just external. So then liver detox. If the liver is doing their job, then the immune system would not have gone crazy. So we had all these treatments. There's charcoal powder, you know, simple things. And she is symptom-free up to present. That's been what? That was 2003, so it's up to now. Yeah. The next one is a more recent case. He's a man, a 21-year-old male student, and his one eye is already blinded from lupus, and the other one is starting to go. So he had to stop practicing as a nurse. So she's been in a lupus case for since 2 years, and facial rashes, given steroids, then started blurring of vision. They show that the eyes, the retina of the eyes being destroyed by the immune system. They gave steroid, didn't work, and within a year, right eye lost vision completely. 6 months prior to coming to us, the other eye started getting the same symptoms. They did steroids, they even advised chemotherapy, and again, and the guy is from Tuguegarao, and we have a lot of patients from Tuguegarao. They would come by jeep because we're getting a lot of good results there. Why? Oh, the local the church of the Jehovah's Witness, they are so strong, you know, that if one patient get better, then they come entire jeep, you know, and that's 12 hours away. Huh? So he comes, and we started our program with him.
Oh, wow.
Okay, he rashes on arms and legs. He was already very fat from the steroids, and he's got all these pimples on his face also, and he's got this hump on the back. Okay, so, and blood pressure is also high. So we gave him the same treatments we're doing, but we gave Tawas Calamansi for the pimples. You know, Tawas is good, but you know, you can use live enzyme for the face.
Yeah.
Yes, very nice. One of my nurses is doing that. She's applying live enzyme on her face. It's working.
Wow.
And she's got pimples all over. I mean, she's done everything. Yes. So for the itchy skin lesion, very, very itchy, we use cacahuate soap, which is anti-inflammatory and anti-itchiness and anti-allergy. He did juice fasting until his left eye started to improve on the second week. So it took about a week's time to get result. But then we decided to use stem cell because we really want to save that remaining eye. So we got mesenchyme, which is a growth factor from embryonic animal source, thymus stem cell to stimulate his thymus gland and modulate the immune system, and maybe help with the damage in the eye. And of course, megadose of vitamin C and other things. After a week, he went back to Manila where he used to have the test, and it was normal. So he was confined for 3 weeks and he was discharged. See, what we want to do is get results immediately, not wait for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months before you get results. And that's why you do the lab test to see if what you're doing is working. So right now, his left eye is still normal, although the right eye is totally blind. You can't do anything with the right eye anymore. So his treatment was same, except we did stem cell and cell food, which is increased lyophilized oxygen with enzymes, no? And chitosan, which is a detoxifier. It removes toxins. And the therapy is the same as in case 1. Okay, now in medicine, lupus is incurable. Sometimes it goes in remission, but using steroids, and then they taper off the steroids, then it comes back. So it's like a seesaw. So patient continue this thing at home, and his dinner is before 6 p.m. or blended, And he's supposed to sleep by 9 and exercise every day. And he did it, and he was happy. He was happy because he got results. See, Starbucks coffee enema.
Starbucks
Okay?
na siya.
In the morning, give it to yourself before your boss does. Huh?
That's how you use coffee now, huh? For the butt.
Yeah, coffee enema. See, when you smell coffee, one of my patients come, smells good, what's that? That's your enema. You will never ever feel the same about coffee once you've done it on a regular basis. Okay, so what is it? It's an autoimmune disease. Autoimmune self is where your immune system attacks different parts of your body and it causes inflammation. What is inflammation? Swelling, maga, no? Inflammation has 3 main components: swelling, redness, swelling, warmth, and pain. Yeah, so tatlo yun. Rubor means redness, dolor means pain, calor means heat. Yeah, so tatlong component ng inflammation. It's more common in females than male, although male yung isa, no? The cause is unknown or unknown. O paano mo magamot yung, how can you treat or cure something where you don't know what the causes are or is, no? And however, they say heredity, viruses, violet light, drugs may play some role. So there are people na trigger siya because of drugs, or because of virus, because of so many things, no? So what do you do with that? Anything that makes your immune system go crazy or changes it can cause lupus, no? Sometimes they say it's heavy metal, mercury. Sometimes they say it's exposure to radiation. Who knows? No? For us, we genetically we say it's toxins, so detoxifying. So 90% women, genetics, family history, environmental factors, chemicals, infection, stress, trauma, enzyme deficiency. See? So kung may enzyme deficiency, bigyan mo na enzyme. Well, I mean, it's anong tatamaan niya? Well, if it hits the brain, you get psychological effect. If it hits the mouth, the face, you get so many things. Sometimes just a feeling na you don't feel good. You feel like you're, sabi ko, exposed to kryptonite if you're Superman. Very, very weak. Huh? And they're very sensitive to sunlight. Now, at the turn of the century, before World War II, there was a doctor named Dr. Max Gerson. He became famous later in the United States because he healed about 50 patients with cancer. But in Germany, during that time, before World War II, he was treating patients with lupus. The #1 program he was doing is he put them on a vegetarian diet. They started getting better. The College of Dermatology was angry at him because he was treating and curing lupus patients. So they sued him that he's practicing dermatology when he's not supposed to.
Wow.
So his patients were the one who stood up for him and said, this doctor was healing, he's healing us. So the judge told the College of Dermatology, this is the organization of dermatologists in Germany, can you cure lupus? They said, no, we can't. Then let this doctor do his job. You can do it. They were getting well just because they're changing the diet. Okay. So then he moved to the US because it was World War II. I think Gerson is Jew or something. But in the US, now he became famous for curing 50 patients with cancer. And of course, the medical association hated him, no? And took away his license because he was curing patients with cancer. When he died, broken-hearted, his 50 cancer patients built a hospital in Tijuana. It was the Gerson Institute. His daughter, who is in her 80s, is still continuing that program. Okay, so that butterfly rash should be like this, diba? Parang butterfly, no? And the rash gets worse in sunlight. Then there are swollen lymph nodes kasi the immune system is attacking the blood itself, no? Brain, nervous system. Some people, the really bad ones, the kidneys, and so they end up having to do dialysis. Then they end up with transplant, but then the immune system will also attack the kidney that is transplanted. Wala din. So the malar rash would be the rash on the face, and then sometimes there'll be rounded rashes and sensitivity to light. So parang vampire sila, no? Ayaw na ng light. Then there are sometimes oral ulcers sa mouth, no? May mga sugat-sugat doon. And then inflammation of the lung cavity, so they cough and or heart. than kidney problems. So this is actually one of the, about half of patients with kidney involvement experience permanent kidney damage. Kaya even if President Marcos have a transplant, wala pa rin. Kasi it's his blood, it's his immune system that's doing the job. Of course, they give him immunosuppressive drugs, but the side effects are worse. If it affects the brain, blood, and other things, you get other freebies, other complications. So the test that is done is a blood test. We call the ANA, anti-nuclear antibody test, or the lupus test. 95% of them would have positive ANA test. Of course, some viral infections also will have a positive ANA test. Rheumatoid arthritis, Sjogren syndrome, so these are different autoimmune diseases. Sometimes nagtataas din yung ANA. But then, if you check the anti-DNA antibody test at the positive, talagang lupus nga siya. And then they test the cells and they see what they call LE cell test. And these are also unfortunately positive in some other patients like rheumatoid arthritis. So the purpose of medical treatment is to minimize symptoms, pain reliever, and reduce inflammation, so they give steroids, and help maintain normal body function and prevent flare-ups. So the drugs that are given are drugs depending on the organ system. Pag sa kidney, something to help the kidney, or suppress the severity of the function. So steroids is the backbone. They reduce inflammation, suppress immune system like prednisone, prednisolone, and triamcinolone. Adverse reaction, increase appetite and weight gain. So nagdagdag ka ng weight and yet you weaken the bones. Anong mangyari nun? You sneeze and you break something. Okay. Fractures. Okay. Cataract, so nabulag ka pa, no? Acne, well, people, no big deal. High blood pressure. Blood sugar level, so you get a tendency for diabetes and for strokes. Moon face, so your face becomes rounded and then there's that hump on your back. So it seems that the disease, that the medicine is worse than the disease, no? And then they give anti-malaria drugs kasi it also helps with the pains in the skin. But anti-malaria drug, your face will become dark and dark. Adverse reaction, okay, wait. You can have LBM, you can have acidity, you can have muscle weakness, decreased hearing, and drugs may accumulate in the retina leading to blindness. This is yung anti-malaria drugs, no? So, the lupus may be destroying your eyes, and then you take the medicine and it destroys your eyes more. Then, immunomodulating drugs. These are to suppress the immune system, relieve inflammation. This is only for those who have brain and kidney damage. The side effects are anemia, you lower your white blood cell, you lose your hair, you increase risk of infection, increase risk of fertility and damage to the DNA, which can develop cancer later in life. Diba? Cute? So, like cytoxan and immunans. Incidentally, cytoxan is also a chemotherapy drug. So, the side effect is cancer later in life. Diba? Cute? Okay. And then something to make the blood not clot. So, you give this heparin, coumadin, and aspirin. Coumadin or warfarin is rat poison, by the way. Indora rat killer. Yeah. Diba ang galing, no? Okay. However, in alternative medicine, the focus is to bring back the immune system to full capacity instead of destroying it. Toxins are considered the reason why the immune system malfunctions, so what you do is detoxify and rehabilitate. Simpler. Okay. Medyo exotic na po yun. The things that they're doing are more exotic. So doctors will prescribe it, and then you have to have frequent lab tests to see if you're dying or your blood tests are getting worse and so on. Whereas dito, nutrition and a little bit of detoxification. So sometimes you put the patient on liquid diet for a week or so, just for better energy, for better absorption of nutrients. And then the dinner is light or liquid. So when they go home, we tell them, oh, give them home before 6 or make it liquids. And that's their maintenance. Okay. Then they detox the blood, and then herbs, vitamin C, some oxygen building things, some detox before and after. You see some changes. Huh? Then the liquid chlorophyll is actually the green extract of plants. Chlorophyll is a blood builder and also a blood purifier. Then you give enzymes like papain, bromelain. Meron tayo niyan sa ating life enzymes. If you don't have that, mag-juice ka lang ng pineapple, and ng green papaya. Diba? Then immune rehab, vitamin C, and so on. So sometimes massage is done for stress. Minsan, stress pala yung nag-clear up ng lupus ng patient. Before we had hyperbaric oxygen therapy, but now we don't have it. And this is a biozapper, by the way. And then hydrotherapy, steam bath, sauna, or if kaya yung patient, fever therapy. The rest are extra na. Pero ito, this can be done at home, and exercise can be done at home, di ba? And the lifestyle change, low fat, low protein, high complex carbohydrates, stress control, regular exercise, spiritual enhancement sa stress, no? Rest, stay away from stimulants, you may retain some of the basic herbs like ginger, turmeric, things like that. Nakakatulong po yun sa inflammatory response. And acupuncture, kung malayo sila, like they're in Tugigaraw, of course we don't need to do that. But we teach them acupressure and prayer and counseling. Kasi your attitude can make you well. The Bible says your faith shall make you whole. No? When you're looking for answer, ask God and then do something about it. No? Okay. People with faith are always best fighters of disease. Patients with a fighting spirit have a better chance of recovery than those who surrender to their illness. Kasi we are what we think. Sabi ng Bible, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Kung umpisa pa lang, sabi ng doctor, wala nang cure. Wala ka nang cure. But if you believe that somebody up there cares and you do your part, he will do his part. At least, yeah. Now, we go to allergic rhinitis. It's the same thing, but this time we have something called an allergen. It's a chemical. It's something that will cause the person to overreact. Yeah. Allergic rhinitis is known as hay fever. No? It's a response or reaction or overreaction to something. Typical allergens are grass, dust, mold, pollen. Pag spring or pag babago ng sibol, there's pollen in the air. Hatching na sila ng hatching. Usually in the morning. Okay. Your body releases something called histamine when your system encounters something that it doesn't like. No? This is a natural defense. So it's supposed to be a good thing. Pero unfortunately, it makes you overreact. Let's say a normal person inhales some powder, he is this, hatching, tapos na. No? But the allergic rhinitis patient inhale and sneeze and have runny nose and swollen eyes and itchy and so on. The whole, well, maybe in the morning at least. So later in the afternoon, it disappears. But a normal person would just sneeze once or twice. An allergic rhinitis person is going to be sneezing almost half a day. So this is the normal nostril. Pag nag-react na magaan na yung mga sinus niya, then may lumalabas na sipon. But it's clear naman. It's just clear discharge. So it's not infected. If it's yellow or green, it's infected. No? So it's just clear. And the eyes are very itchy. So, allergies are considered a disorder in the immune system. The causes are yung internal balance niya and a weakened immune system. So, an imbalance are created by the food we eat, air we breathe, or the chemicals we come in contact with. Nawala sa balance. Na offline. No? So what do? You bring it back online. What caused the imbalance? Baka napasobra ang kain ng certain things. No? Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na hypoallergenic diet. See, Makati, ang kati-kati siya. And some people couldn't even work anymore because of that. They'd rather just sleep. Pollen, dust, animal dander, old skin, cat, saliva, mold. So pollen is the biggest culprit. So sneezing, stuffy nose, coughing, runny nose, itchy nose, excessive fatigue, sore throat, ganun, no? Itchy, watery eyes, headache. Kasi it affects us. On our face, there are what we call spaces here called sinuses. This is to make your head lighter, no? Kasi kung solid bone yan, it's gonna be a little bit heavy like this. So this one also has a lining of tissue that is moist. So when you inhale air, it ends up there and gets moistened before it goes to the lungs. Kasi if it doesn't go through that, you inhale through the mouth, If it's too dry, it causes coughing. So it has to be moist muna. Then it gets filtered by the nostril first and then goes there. So that by the time you inhale the air, it's already warm and moist. So it becomes too moist. It produces too much mucus. Kaya nagkakaroon ng black nostrils. So if there are particles in the air, okay, malangha po siya, mamamaga siya because it doesn't want to inhale it anymore. Sabi ng ilong mo, your nose will say, no, stop. So you produce more mucus so that the thing will stick there, and you sneeze so that you can expel it out. So it's a protective mechanism. When you have allergic rhinitis, your nostril is saying, stop, I don't want these things anymore. I'm going to try to get rid of it. But of course, if you got clogged nostril, you cannot breathe. Huh? And very uncomfortable. And it's usually family inherited. So in a family, they may have allergic rhinitis. Usually they have asthma or some type of allergy. Namamana, no? Can be inherited. Now there are things that can trigger it: cigarette smoke, change in weather, wind, certain perfume, cologne. So people with allergic rhinitis or asthma, they don't like perfumes. Ayaw nilang may mga amoy silang they don't like. Okay, kung minor lang siya, you just need a physical exam, then the doctor asks you questions and then you tell, oh yeah, I'm reactive to this. There's a skin prick test that's done, pero you can apply on your skin various substance, but it takes about a year. And they claim that you'll become desensitized or immune to those things. So pollen, dust, inject it in your skin. Problem is, the dust here may be different from the dust is injecting and the dust in different places. So it doesn't work. It's very expensive. It takes about a year or so. It does not work. So yung ginagawa nila. Then they give antihistamines like Claritin, Nismanal, Benadryl, Fabahistin. And unfortunately, the research have shown that these different antihistaminic can produce cancer later in animals. So human beings too. Siguro temporarily, just to suppress symptoms, great. But if you're going to be taking it for a long time, parang there's something wrong. You can use decongestants over a short period of time, but if you keep using decongestants, the lining of the sinus and the nostril is going to get too thin. Now you're going to be prone to having sinusitis and infections. So we call allergic acute chronic rhinitis medicamentosa, meaning it's a type of illness caused by medicine. Kasi mahilig kang mag-inhale ng ano ba yung parang bullet shape thing. Okay, no? Yeah. So it thins out too much the linings, and it becomes so thin you cannot protect anymore from yes. Now paminsan-minsan you can use it. But if you keep using it, you thin out the lining too much, no? Okay. Then they give immunotherapy, eye drops and nasal spray. Mga steroids lang to, mga steroids.
Example pa tayo dyan.
Yes. Daglag bala, parang bala yan. Okay. So, how do you prevent? Sabi ng American Academy of Allergy, Asthma and Immunology, the best way is to manage your allergy before your body has a chance to respond. So, ang advice nila, nagsisimula pa lang, bigyan ka na ng medicine. Okay, take antihistamines before, pagbago ng weather, take ka na agad. Why not balance your system to what it should be? Kaya merong tinatawag na hypoallergenic diet. Okay. So sa alternative, we do cleansing diet, same thing, digestive enzyme, colon cleansing. Sometimes you get allergy kasi your diet is high in mucus-forming food. What are mucus-forming food? Milk, no? Mga dairy product. Although Yakult, yogurt are allowed, no? But the normal milk, it ferments in the system, it stays there longer. So nagiging very mucoid ang ating secretions, no? Liver cleansing. Okay, sorry. When the liver is clogged with fats, you accumulate toxin, cannot produce histaminase, which is the body's protection against allergies. See? Fatty liver predispose you to allergies. Okay. Now, what else? If you are staying late at night, it predisposes you to allergies kasi the liver is compromised. Ang trabaho ng liver at night is to clean the blood. You're awake watching your telenovela, no? Or computer, Facebook. Pati yun Okay. Change of diet. A vegetarian diet would have balanced body. You are allowed fish, you're allowed chicken, pero wag palagi. Give your body time to eliminate it. And if you do take something like that, the fatty food, take something to neutralize it, like olive oil, omega oil, no? Flaxseed, fibers, grapefruit juice, makaka-dissolve po yan. Calamansi juice, no? Now, hydrochloric acid, it helps to prevent irritation from invading the mucous membrane. So you can take apple cider vinegar, no? Okay, or if you're not digesting your food better, you can take a tablespoon of vinegar with your meal para ma-digest mabuti. Garlic and onions work as antihistamine kasi onion is a bronchodilator and a mucolytic. Di ba? Alam niyo yung sibuyas, no? It can, pag naghihiwa ka, pati sipon lumalabas, hindi lang tears, no? So it opens it up. Now, golden seal is an herb that is used for antibiotic and boosting the immune system, but you cannot take it long. But the garlic and onion, you can, no? Scalp cup is a master relaxant and anti-inflammatory action. So medyo luluwag ng pag-inhale. It opens it up. Now, vitamin A, B complex, vitamin C, vitamin E, calcium, magnesium. So these are minerals that if you take it, usually may mga vitamins or multivitamins that has it. But look for natural. When you take synthetic things, you are actually aggravating your allergies. Kasi your liver has a hard time clearing it out. Huh? Acidophilus or your good bacteria aids in cleaning up toxic waste in the intestine and helps prevent hay fever. So ano yung acidophilus? Yan yung good bacteria, lactobacillus, mga acidophilus. I think we have that also in our product, na? Okay. Probiotic. Yeah. Maybe somebody can just get a copy para hindi na sila magsulat-sulat. No? Okay, so additional therapy, early dinner, early bedtime. Enzymes, curcumin, which is from your ginger, yellow ginger. No? Now, what about peppermint or eucalyptus oil? Get the pure one. Kasi what happens is may peppermint yan or eucalyptus. Pero there are chemicals na kasama niya. So just go into an aromatherapy store and get pure aromatherapy or peppermint. Pag may kumukulong tubig, put a drop or so, inhale it. No? What I do, I get it from a company called Bath Origin. No? And it's a small bottle. What I do is this is lalagay ko ng konti dito, no? Then I lick it, and then when I inhale it, opens up the sinus really well. So look for a aromatherapy thing. I think they have it also at Robinson's sa the basement. They have an aromatherapy. They have peppermint oil and eucalyptus oil and things like that. Huh? Now, honey with onion garlic. Honey would be your immune modulator. Your onion and garlic. Your garlic will be your antibiotic. Your onion will be your mucolytic and bronchodilator. So, biglang lumuluwag siya. Huh? Then, acupressure. Dito yung pressure sa allergic rhinitis. You press on it, barado yung ilong mo, it's clogged up. Press it, make it a little bit painful. Maya-maya, you can breathe better. Huh? So, kung headache, then you have this point here, di ba? Sa headache. Then probiotics, well, you get your Yakult, your yogurt, your cottage cheese. Then you may do coffee enema. I mean, just one of this will have a result eh. What you do, you go to Starbucks and ask for their leftovers, yung binoiled nila. Kasi to do a coffee enema, you have to boil for 5 minutes the coffee, no? Without cover. And then 15 minutes low heat, simmering. No? Then after that, you strain and that you cool it down first, then you do the enema. No? Now, the Starbucks people are just boiling it once and then they discard you can use that, sayang. And then after you boil it, you can use it for facial or scrubs. No? Makes the skin really nice. No? Yan, di ba? Sayang, putahin nyo Starbucks, meron sa baba. No? Okay. So it's very effective. Now, what about pie water? One time, my sister-in-law had severe allergic rhinitis, just like my wife. She has allergic rhinitis, but she doesn't do diet. So her eyes were so itchy, she ran out of her eye drops. No? So then we have the pie water because we had a patient with kidney failure, and her skin was really so itchy. She scratched everywhere. You know? And she's done everything, antihistaminic, caladril, calamine, no? Calamine lotion, everything. Wala, it doesn't work because that's phosphorus that needs to be eliminated out. And she has been doing dialysis, I think, for several years. So we're able to get her off her dialysis, but her skin is still so itchy. Then finally, we tried to do the pie water. We sprayed, it was gone, but itchiness. Sabi niya, I've been doing all sorts of things, tubig lang pala, ng water. So, when my sister-in-law had so much itchiness, we said, okay, why don't you try it? And we had a little bit of the pie water still left on our bottle. She applied it, and she said, what did you do? What did you do with my allergy? It's gone. So, it's very effective. What does it do? Pie water is highly oxygenated water. We also call it clustered water. And if this is the normal molecule of water, it is smaller. Microclusters. Smaller water or wetter water. So it penetrates better into the cell. If you have some herbs or anything you take, it will penetrate, it will bring that better into the cell and eliminate toxins better. So for the itchiness, somehow it probably did something with the histamine or chemical reaction. Neutralize niya. Nawala yung itchiness. It's very marked. You apply it immediately, it works. So, and it doesn't have side effects, of course. So I don't know where you can get pie water here, but there used to be mga ultra pie water station, and it's really nice, no? Okay, so 3 John says, I wish above all things that you prosper in health, even as your souls prosper. If God's wish for us is we prosper in health, even as our soul prosper, then you do your part, God will do His part. Unless He has a lesson to teach you, no? But we can take that by faith and tell God, Lord, this is what you wish for me, and help me to do my part, and I pray you will bless. I didn't bring it here, but there was something very marked that I saw the other day. This was a tweet by Jody Santa Maria. Have you read that? I'd just like to share it with you. It is something that does me. Excuse me. See, when we're talking about I have patients na, never mind, I'll just take the medicine because I don't want to do diet, I don't want to do this, I don't want to stop my smoking. So it really is hard for us to treat someone who doesn't really want to change their lifestyle. But when you got so tired of taking medication, and if the doctors are so aggressive to treat you, whether lupus or allergic rhinitis, and they want to do chemotherapy on you, diba, I think you as the patient should be just as aggressive. Now, I'd like to share with you, someone has to translate for Andrew. It's in English pala. Sige. Okay, this is from Bulgar. Yeah. And this is a tweet from, I think I need my, anyway, I need my glasses, no? You laugh, but this is really nice, no? Naduduling ako pag yung doble vista eh. It's hard for me. Okay. So sabi niya dito, Jory Santa Maria, I used to live an unhealthy lifestyle. I used to smoke, I drank alcohol, I ate foods high in cholesterol. In November 2014, when I finally decided I'm going to go for a healthy lifestyle, I prayed to the Lord to help me get rid of cravings that are not good for me. I knew on my own it's not going to be possible, but by the grace of God, I was given a different perspective of my body. My eyes were opened to the truth that my body has already been bought at a price. It is no longer my own, and that the Spirit of God now dwells in it. What do we do when someone lends us something? We take good care of it, right? We do not return the borrowed item dilapidated or in its worst condition. The same is true with our bodies. I am convinced that one way to honor God is by being good stewards of the things that belong to Him. I want to be healthy so that I will be available when God calls me to do a task for Him.
I also want to be able to keep up with the demands of my growing boy. Di ba? May anak siya, no? I want to be strong for work. I thank God for this perspective that He has given me. Gone are the days when I used to say, okay lang, may gamot naman. Nobody wants to get sick even with the best available cure out there. What we put in our mouths will take a toll on our health. Not now, but later. Health is wealth. Blessed day, everyone. Diba? That is wonderful. No? I believe that we have a responsibility to someone up there and to our fellow men and our family to take good care of our body kasi it affects everybody, not just our own. And as what? Pillars or as as people in the health, what do we call this? Health education business. We not only owe to them to share with them the products that we have, but to share with them that they are responsible. So even if they don't buy the products we have, at least we share with them something.
Right.
Kaya we are doing this lecture. The purpose is to make a difference in people's lives. She doesn't know it, but I'm blessed from what I've read here. No? And I hope you are blessed too. No? Any questions? Any question?
Dok, okay lang po yung soya milk?
Well, hopefully you get it na organic. But if wala naman, it's still better than taking the normal milk. Unless it's in the yogurt form or the... kasi at least the good bacteria is already processed it. Kasi Asians are... 70-80% ng Asians are really lactose intolerant. Merong enzyme na kulang sa atin that cannot process milk. And if you have allergies, yung mga bata na laging may infection, may ubo, may sipon, may tonsillitis, we tell them stay away from milk. They are allowed Yakult and yogurt, but the yogurt should be the live culture thing. Pag nakalagay doon pasteurized, it's dead. It's dead, dead probiotic. Stay away from it. No? So okay lang po, but if you are a purist, then they say look for the organic na nakalagay. Kasi di natin alam kung anong pinagagawa nila ngayon sa production ng soy. No?
Doc, yung most common questions asked ng mga people we try to invite to Life Enzyme, no?
Yes.
Yung if they're undergoing dialysis or undergoing chemo.
Yeah, I am giving it for patients with doing
So ano yung
dialysis.
sasagot namin, Doc?
Allowed. It's enzymes.
Yeah.
You need definitely enzymes. Kasi they are dehydrated. So the blood is a tendency to clog up. They need enzymes to unclog rather than give them Dora rat killer, di ba? And they cannot drink too much water. So definitely the enzymes can help make the water flow better. Kasi the tendency is for the machine to get clogged up when they're doing dialysis. So it can help. Wala namang masama. It's just food.
So we have this downline who's undergoing dialysis. Tapos in fact, he has undergone 2 stem cell procedures na.
Stem cell.
Yeah. So, bumuti siya sa stem cell.
Mm-hmm.
Then, 3 times a week yung dialysis niya.
Mm-hmm.
So, nag-join siya sa atin. Now, I don't know kasi yung isang downline kong nag-invite
Kwento,
kanya.
yes.
So, ang sabi nung pasyente, tatanong niya muna sa doktor niya.
Okay. It's like this. Ano ba sabi?
Tatanong sa doktor.
Okay. Let's say my car has a problem. Then I go to the carpenter. Sir, paano ba i-repair yung aking car? No? When you go to a medical doctor and he doesn't have an inkling, he doesn't have any training, alternative medicine, he's just gonna shoot it down. Kasi, look, if I'm a medical doctor, I'm handling his case, and you come to me asking me about herbal therapy, una, that will tell me you're not contented with what I'm doing to you. Huh? You're not contented with what with the way I'm treating you. That's why you're contemplating another mode of treatment. So that's an insult to my professionalism, di ba? So merong yung pride niya you'll hit. And then number 2, he doesn't know anything about it. So for you to ask someone who doesn't know anything about it, that's gonna really make him react more, no? So why are you asking it? If it was good in the first place, he would have told you to do it. So you're just asking for heartache. Unless the doctor is open-minded and is studying other things. Ang tawag namin yung integrative medicine. Integrative medicine would be a medical doctor who has training both in medical and natural things. Yung lahi namin konti lang no? We're not that many, no? And we are not in the hospital. Actually, I think I'm the only one in the hospital, no? There are other doctors, but they dare not do what we're doing. So and when you have kidney failure, una-una, you're not supposed to drink a lot of water. So dehydrated ka. You're not supposed to take fruits because fruits will make your potassium go up, no? The danger with that is we need water at least for our supplements. And he's only taking mga 2 to 3 glasses a day, or 4 at the most. And he's doing dialysis. And it's hard for us to do herbal therapy if the water intake ng patient is only so little. So, the doctor is gonna shoot it down. Yeah. They're not that open to alternative medicine.
Are you familiar with Dr. Robin Navarro?
Yeah.
Do you approve one of his advices to take in yung raw fertilized duck egg?
Well, raw egg is healthy, but he's overdoing it. He's doing 10, 12 things. That even good things can become bad if you overdo it. No? And if you have a tendency for allergy, I would not advise too much of the eggs. Mag-trigger siya no? Mag-trigger siya. But for patients with, let's say, doing dialysis, we give the raw egg white to increase yung albumin. For patients who are very weak, then you give raw egg, no? Mix it with juice. But again, it will depend on how fast the body is depleting protein. Kasi if you give mega dose of that, one egg has about 54 milligrams of protein. According to research, we only need mga 20 to 22 milligrams of protein per day. So if you take your 56 milligrams of protein, may sobrang 30 plus, no? The body will discard as uric acid. So tumataas yung uric acid level ng pasyente. So you're allowed raw egg, kung wala namang problem, mga 2 to 3 times a week. If you do it every day, you're gonna be adding a little bit more than what you need. So what happens when we have too much protein? Let's say this is the level that you're supposed to use. Your body will use that to create cells, no? But you give me more than what I need. So I'm gonna have to process those protein and try to make more cells because you have more supply that you brought me. More cells to make out of what I used to make will produce more error for like if there's a factory is producing only 10 cars per day and suddenly you put 20 cars worth, mapipilitan siyang every day, so it's gonna have to make 20 cars, more room for error, more room for cancer cells. So too much protein actually have negative effect on the body, and it makes your blood acidic, uric acid. So ang thrust nilang yun is carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, not protein loading. He doesn't really have a good success rate for cancer. For other things, maybe, but not for cancer.
Kasi marami siyang mga nag-orthodox na advice.
Yes. Well, it's like this. You have to eat fast because God made the fatted cow for the prodigal son. He comes back home, he has to be fed the fatted calf. No? And remember, the prodigal son doesn't have any cancer or any disease. And in ancient times, fats are not even fed to the Hebrews, the Jews. So fatted lang yung calf, but they didn't eat the fat. And there's the bulalo. Wala daw fat yung bulalo, no? You boil mo nga and you put in the fridge. You're gonna see fats there. But anyway, that's his style. And when he speaks in Picam, he's too old to... See, I try to be quiet when elders talk, You cannot convince him otherwise, so just let him. Okay, anyone? Anything else? Siya lang naman may ganun, siya kasi Jimmy. Jimmy Deliaco is into the egg thing too. But that's okay. Even good things, if you take too much, is not good thing. And for lupus and for allergies, we do away with the egg.
Right. So,
Yes.
About the presentation. Say I have a friend na right now, he recently just had lupus as diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
Then before he had acute, juvenile, rhinitis.
Yeah.
It started off like, kati-kati sa lamunan.
It got worse, yes. Well, I said, viral infection can trigger it.
Is it possible that it evolved into...
Well, let's see. If you get infection, frequent infection, your immune system reacts. Again, infection, it reacts. Again, pretty soon it doesn't know the enemy anymore. It just keeps reacting. What caused the frequent throat infection? Sweets and cold things and a fatty meal probably that destroyed his immune system there. No? So late nights. No? So something triggers that. So you keep harming the immune system, pretty soon it's gonna overreact. And if there's a family history of allergies or any other autoimmune disease, that can later lead to the patient getting it. So as one writer says, disease never comes without a cause. No? The Bible says a curse causeless shall not come. No? Disease is invited and the way is prepared. So that's why disease comes in. You don't just get boom, you get a disease like this. Merong preparation. And most of the time, we are the one who prepared it. Huh? So, then you can do something about it. Pag tinigger mo, makita mo yung lifestyle niya iba. Huh? Tama, right? Tama. Yes, lifestyle. Anything else? Okay, it's nice to finish early. Then I get home early. Huh? Okay, may God bless us all.